गिरिवरधारी गोपीजना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुना तीरावनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 बोल हरि बोल तै गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि गोपाल हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शील प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नामाचार्य हरदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuvunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vidamscha नमावं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Welcome all of you. Generally I do this Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani every Wednesday. But now today is Friday, I believe. I will try to continue it when I am in Pune, generally on Wednesdays, on the first 2 weeks of every month. Yugal Shyam Prabhu suggested me that I continue it and complete the book. So these topics are very, very important for us because you see, this is the last session we were discussing about hearing without faith. Hearing done by the living entity is like the food eaten by a living man. Without eating food, we perish. Similarly, hearing also is a very important topic, and very deeply the topic of hearing is analyzed in this book based on Chaitanya Charitamrita and other literatures of acharyas. So, if we can learn this properly, we can find out where is lack of faith and how it can be rooted out. and how we can establish proper faith while hearing and gain great benefit. Like you see, somebody eats a lot of food, still he remains slim. Why? Because the worms are eating the food. Similarly, we chant the holy names for so many years. Instead of nourishing the soul, we are watering the weeds many times. Instead of nourishing the Bhaktilata creeper, it may be watering the weeds. So the weeds become stout and stronger, and the Bhaktilata creeper is weak. So, and the weakness manifests in various ways. More than a dozen items Bhaktivinoda Thakur has mentioned about the weeds. So, therefore, in this entire book, I would say these last few chapters are very, very important because now he has come to the core aspect of Vaishnava's life, which is Shravanam. Because from Shravanam only comes Mananam subsequently. When you hear, then you can recollect, then you can remember, Smaranam can be done properly. So, we have with us Vamshidhari Prabhu, who will be speaking on Sunday. He is very deeply learned on all the subjects, and he prefers English and Tamil, two languages, right? He will speak in English. So he is with us for some days. So we also will have some more classes for him. And many of you devotees who may have some specific clarifications on any acharyas commentaries, he is a very good person to consult. You should take advantage of his availability here. So I had invited him here because I have been in touch with him over phone. And in South India, he is very, very popular for his Tamil lectures. He speaks in Tamil. Can you imagine? He started from first canto and did till 8th canto every single day. He continued couple of hours. So for a big audience actually. So he did this only. He gave them the chance for Shravanam, and people got hooked very nicely and spiritually made advancement through that. So I'm going to quickly browse through this and then go to the next section. You can see this one. We finished introduction, mixed devotion service, pure devotion service, stages of pure devotion, everything. And a qualification to hear Krishna's pastimes. In that chapter, in that section, E section, these are the subheadings. Qualifications to hear we completed, principles of hearing. Now hearing without faith, that's what we are doing now. So if one doesn't have faith, should one hear or not? Correct, no? So the immediate answer appears to be no, correct, no? But that's not the answer. No? You will see that how the faithless can become faithful. That process is explained. Some of our students ask this question. I hear certain things which I am not able to develop faith, what to do? So therefore I told you, this is a very, see, these two chapters are very important, third and fourth one. Hearing without faith and hearing with impure faith. They are very popular one because conditioned souls are mostly in this category, correct? No? Either they hear without any faith or hear with impure faiths. So we finished part of this chapter. See, totally there are 11 subheadings in that. We are now currently in the third one. Yeah. So 3 types of people come in contact with Krishna consciousness: the faithless, those with impure faith, and those with pure faith. Actually, those with the faithless means, and there are also faithless people, Ashtadadana 4.40 and 9.3. In this verses, Krishna talks about these faithless people in the Bhagavad Gita also. And then he says, Shraddhavan labate jnanam tatpara samyatendri, he says the correct, no? So, in this way, he talks about faithless as well as faithful also. No? So, and then he says, those with impure faith contacted through ritualistic endeavors. That means they have mixed faith. Then those with pure faith, that's a goal we want to attain. See, these are the 3 types of faithless people. He says, Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, Kame, Sakale, Shanta. Shri Radha Chandra ki. See, these people are called faithless people. Because karmi goes to Krishna only for his own selfish motivations. Jnani goes to Krishna only for his own moksha or liberation. Yogi goes for getting siddhis. So what is the reference point for these people? Krishna or oneself? Huh? Oneself. Therefore they are called as faithless. Actually, they don't have anything to give and take with Krishna except that they want to borrow something from him. Correct now. Like sometimes people come to you to take something from you, right? They are not interested in you. They are interested in you for getting something out of you. No? Therefore, it's called as faithless. Yeah. Yeah, people working hard, karmis. Karmis, jnanis, yogis. 3 photos you have shown. And 3 pictures. Modern day. Karmis. Actually, actual karmis are not like this. According to Vedas, karmis means karmakandis. But we have also shown the modern day karmis. Also. Actually, according to Vedas, the karmis are faithful people in one sense. They are not faithless. They have faith in karma kanda and demigod worship and all that. But yeah. Semblance of faith also explained. Sakama. And then moksha kama, yoga kama. All this we explained before. What's wrong with having material desires? Bhukti mukti siddhi kami sakale ashanta. That is a problem. See, here is this is bhukti kami and this is mukti kami. 2 things they do. They do reading lot of books and meditation. And siddhi kami, walking on water, levitating, acquiring siddhis. There is siddhi kami. So all 3 are restless. So Mahaprabhu is telling Rupa Goswami in the Shashmeda Ghat, saying bhukti mukti siddhi kami sakale ashanta Krishna bhakti kama ati eva shanta. So this is very revolutionary in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, because generally in India, good number of organizations talk about moksha. They consider moksha as the ultimate goal of life. But in Brahmamada Gaudiya Sampradaya, Rupa Goswami uses the word amongst the different type of Kaitava dharmas. The moksha kama is called as Kaitava Pradhan, he says. Kaitava Pradhan means topmost cheating, he says. So, that is considered worse than even being a karmi also, from a Vaishnava, because one denies service. One doesn't want to serve Krishna. So, Vaishnavas consider that hellish. Kaivalyam narakayate, he says, yeah. Yeah. Krishna Bhakta is peaceful and happy. Yeah. Bhogi and Tyagi are 2 pendulums, extreme sides of the pendulum. Krishna Bhakta is engaging everyone and everything in Krishna service. Easy to capture picture, you see. One is going away to Himalayas, one is enjoying everything, Bhukti and, Bhogi and Tyagi. And Bhakta is engaging everyone and everything in Krishna service. So, rareness of Shuddha Bhaktas was explained also. Because the Shuddha Bhaktas have pure faith in Krishna. Yeah. He says below the second point, you see what he says. Even neophytes in this category, despite being handicapped by reactions to past sins, they dwarf all other spiritualists. That means, even Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi performers, even though they may be very powerful people, from the point of view of the public, they become dwarfs in front of a Kanishtadhikari. He's saying, even if you are a Kanishtadhikari who is worshipping deity, he is considered superior to karmis, jnanis and yogis who may be popular all over the world. Yeah. Because devotees have accumulated devotional credits and allow them to accept Krishna as the only goal of life. That's the meaning of, a devotee, pure devotee. Yeah. Prabhupada said, even if one man becomes a pure devotee of the Lord, we shall consider our attempt a success, Prabhupada says in his preaching. So how did Prabhupada present, what was his presentation style? It is meant to inspire only devotees? No. He says it's meant to inspire the faithless, the motivated worshippers and pure devotees. All the 3. Ashraddha, faithless people and also impure worshippers and also pure devotees. So, the faithless people are karmis, jnanis, yogis. The impure worshippers are 4 categories. Artho, Jignasu, Artharthi, Jnani. And the pure worshippers are Anyabhilashita Shanyam. Like that. They follow that pure devotion service. In that also there is Kanishta Madhyama Uttama Adhikaris. Yeah. Like one accepts Krishna as the goal of life. And Krishna is my ultimate goal. I have no other goal. Then one comes to the path of Shuddha Bhakti. Yeah. So some people gradually take up and some people have taken it without delay, seriously. So whether the predators seek moral wisdom, peace of mind, pure devotion, divine love, all can have the desires fulfilled in Prabhupada's books, he's saying. So Prabhupada has given everything. He doesn't hold anything, he says. Yeah. Yeah. So one very important point he has mentioned here for those who study the books of previous acharyas. He says, study of the books of previous acharyas or those of Prabhupada's followers. That means two types of things he is saying. One is like Vishwanath Thakur, Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, and all these books when you are reading, he's saying that should be done in light of and in harmony with Srila Prabhupada's teachings. That means one should not study the acharyas commentaries exclusively without studying Prabhupada's purport. Some people do one mistake I have observed. They read only the translations in Prabhupada books. They say in 1 month they finish the whole Bhagavatam. Somebody was telling me. I asked, how did he do? I read only the translation. So now I know the storyline, how the thing goes. There are some people who do that. Study only the translations. And then for Acharya's commentary, they read elaborately. Then what happens? Then you only know the Acharya's modern mission. But you don't know Prabhupada's modern mission. You will not come to know. So, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he talks about the modern day Mahajanas. The ancient Mahajanas you all know. Dvadashi ete vijanimo dharman bhagavatan bata, he says, no? Guhyam vishuddham durbodham yajñatva amritam ashnute. Who are they? Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kumara, Kapilo, Manu, Prahalada, Janako, Bhishma, Balir, Vyasakir. So they are old Mahajans. But the modern Mahajan starts from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and Srila Prabhupada. These are recent Mahajans. So we not only should refer to the older Mahajans, we also should refer to the recent Mahajanas. Because these people have lived in our contemporary times when the world has become so changed. And they have lived the life of pure devotion service. Like you see, Yukta Vairagya principle, how Prabhupada effectively applied. Correct, no? Prabhupada could fly in planes, he could go in ships, he could, use all the modern day technology and using in Krishna service in terms of printing the books and publishing. In those days, they would write the books and distribute. Now, they are printing and selling in mass level. So, therefore, Prabhupada gives a Vedic perspective of things happening in the modern time. So, we need the modern day Mahajana's teachings. And especially Prabhupada. He's saying we should read the reading of the Acharya's commentary in light of and in harmony with Prabhupada teachings, not in opposition to them, he's saying. So two types of books he's saying. One is Acharya's books, another one is the Prabhupada's disciples and followers' books. Both are available in abundant quantity nowadays. And our time is limited. Correct, no? So one has to take care that one doesn't miss reading the purports of Prabhupada. Recently, I had a thought of, taking all the golden purports of Prabhupada. The golden purport means the purports which contain some very weighty sentences. Like he says, the living entity is so made that he experiences utmost happiness when he puts himself in a state of absolute dependence. Prabhupada writes this in Bhishma Pitama's section. When we put ourselves in a state of absolute dependence on Krishna, we experience utmost happiness. Similarly, another place he says, sense gratification and Krishna consciousness go together. So there are many, similar to cut off the tie of affection means to broaden the field of spiritual activities. So these kind of purports I wanted to take because many of these purports, golden purports, if they are highlighted well and expanded upon, then many people will capture the mood and mission of Prabhupada very well. Even if you take something like, 500 purports of Prabhupada from Bhagavatam, and you give 1 hour lecture on each of this. And many people who may not go through all the purports, the whole Bhagavatam, they could see these golden purports. We will read the shloka, the translation, the purport of Prabhupada, and highlight and show the purport, and then elaborate on it with examples from Prabhupada. So that way, Prabhupada can be easily, grasped by even newcomers also. Very important. Most of our youth camps, that's what we do. We just take Prabhupada purports and capture certain purport points and elaborate on that. There is one purport called as Vaikuntha thinking. We just put this word in computer, in folio, Vaikuntha thinking. Those sentences, you can close your eyes and say that they are not written by Prabhupada, they are written by Krishna directly. As Prabhupada says, my purports are all my ecstasies. Krishna spoke through Prabhupada, we can say. Prabhupada says, everyone should render service for the pleasure of the Lord. And everyone should respect everyone else's service. And everyone should consider oneself a servant of all other devotees. One should never be envious of others while rendering service. And he says that whatever capacity a devotee is able to serve, that service should be considered glorious. These kind of points he makes. So therefore, Prabhupada purports should be kept as a central, pivotal goal of our life. And all other things can be additional around it. Yeah. So that's what we saw last time. Yeah. And then Prabhupada's presentations of Krishna Consciousness Centers on the inconceivable potency of chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. His motto is everyone should chant. That's Prabhupada's goal. After reading all the purport, one should come to chant. One should not neglect the chanting or put it behind. Chanting should be given utmost importance. Like you all know this, 5 potent forms of devotion service. Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavata, Shravan, Mathurabhasa, Srimurtira, Shraddhaya Sevan. Like one family man was telling me that I get up in the morning, I wake up the deities and I bathe the deities, dress the deities and, do Mangalarti, Nrsimharti, Tulasi Arti, everything, Guru Puja, everything. And I go to office. On the bus I chant about maybe 4 or 5 rounds I chant. And evening I come back and chant 12 rounds, it becomes late at night, he was telling. Is it a good method? That means he has, his priority is not correct. The first priority should be given to chanting. The holy name out of the... In fact, Lord Chaitanya told this to Sarvam Bhattacharya when he asked him, what is the most important method amongst all? Bhajanera Madhya Sreshta, Navivida Bhakti, Krishna Papa Prishtikta. And the next verse is, Thara Madhya Sarva Sreshta, Nama Sankirtan. He says, chanting of the holy name is the most important thing. So, purpose of studying Bhagavatam is to inspire us to chant. If study of Bhagavatam doesn't inspire us to chant, then it becomes an intellectual titillation only. Because the Bhagavatam ends with the famous verse, Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamanhatam Namami Harim Param. So, that's what he's saying here. Yes. The people should seek out the company of devotees, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, worship the deity, and then chant the holy name. Yeah. So Prabhupada made a public Harinam available for people. Even if they cannot go to temple, they can hear Harinam in the street. Yeah. Yes. Prabhupada said, if the more the people become attached to company of devotees, the more perfectly they can chant the holy names. Yeah. So the ISKCON preachers should follow Prabhupada's order to distribute Krishna consciousness, he's saying. Then people can get the benefit of, yeah, this is the last part we saw. We finished it. So this was the last time. Now we got a revision of what we did last time. Now let us go to today's one. I told you, don't listen. Remember? How to avoid this problem. You don't know? No animation. Very good. Very good. Yes, sir. Okay. This is one. Who is going to read today? I can read that. Preach.
Preach means to inject faith.
Yeah.
By Kali Yuga's pitiless intrigues, today's people are becoming increasingly faithless. In most European countries, for example, a mere 15% of the people attend church, an all time low. Of those who profess a specific faith, many concoct teachings that are without scriptural basis. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada often said that to preach means to inject faith into the hearts of the faithless. Without faith, no one can take up spiritual life. What to speak of make tangible spiritual progress?
Yeah. So two things he's saying here. One is, in those days, at least people had the ritual of going to church or temple the weekends. In India, also people go on Fridays to some temple, Saturday to some temple, Sunday to certain temples. Churches also people used to go for attending the meeting on Sundays. People know that you should go and stand in the church and take part in the song, hymns being sung, and also every day read a page of Bible at least. So people had that kind of custom at least in families. So you will see that when with the modern advancement in science and technology, man's faith shifted from the scriptures to the scientific research. So then they started demanding, whatever you speak, we don't want any scriptural evidence. We want scientific proof for that. So that is the reason why even preachers also resorted to showing things scientifically. Because when you show something scientifically, that cow dung is scientifically valuable, cow urine is scientifically valuable. Nowadays, everywhere you will find people use science to prove anything. They made an effort to prove the scriptural truths through scientific presentations. Just leave on our disco yourself. People are more impressed with that, correct? No? So people's faith shifted to science, from scriptures to science. And if somebody is sitting down and preaching scripture, then nobody is there to hear. If somebody is sitting and speaking Bhagavad Gita, Puranas, Vedas, and temples, if you go to typical any temple in India now, one Panditji is sitting there. Either Panditji is sitting with a book or sitting with a pot on galla for collecting money and giving a receipt. People just go, correct? Now, people don't sit down and hear. That sitting down and hearing culture got lost slowly because of faithlessness. And later on, people saw that even with advancement in science, people started becoming hippies. Prabhupada asked in America when he went, what is the use of your education? Your education is producing only hippies. And your education is increasing suicides. It is increasing divorces. It is increasing criminalism. Then people started losing interest even in scientific subjects. They started becoming hippies, and they only have one religion called sense gratification. Indriya Tripti, that's the only religion. They want experience of everything. That is called as New Age religion. That's called as, what do you call it? Postmodern culture. So in postmodern culture, even if you scientifically prove something, like, you show them, Harvard University has conducted a research on chanting Hare Krishna, and they have published a doctorate thesis that chanting Hare Krishna, can help you to, relieve your stress. You can do this, do that. Scientifically, you show they are not interested. Now, they only want experience now. Whatever feels good, you do it. That's all. Smoking feels good, do it. Don't tell anybody, don't do. As soon as you say you don't do, people will go away. There are people like that nowadays. Therefore, in the t-shirts they wear, on being human. You've seen that? How many of you have seen people wearing on being human? Right? Human means you should not tell them what not to do. If you tell them no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex, you speak the four things, next day they won't come. They will not be sitting in the class. Because they say that whatever feels good, you can do. So in that sense, some people go to temple because temple feels calm. That's why they go to temple. Some people don't mind hearing kirtans if it helps in their peace of mind. That means they use the spiritual practices as a temporary self-serving utility to experience happiness at the moment. But they are not ready to sit down and listen how to go back home, back to Godhead. That they are not interested. They say, don't talk about tomorrow. Don't talk about past. There are so many negative things happen in the past. Don't talk about it, because we don't want to talk negative. We want to be positive. And don't talk about going back to Godhead. That's a very far-fetched idea. Just now tell me how I can be happy. That's all. They want experience. Like I was in Bibhiwadi in those days, in the temple, Dattatreya temple, we were having a youth program. I had only about 6-8 boys sitting. So a new program started. So one boy was coming and worshipping Dattatreya. After he worshipped, he was about to leave. I called him, please sit down. He also joined the class. I told him. Immediately asked me, can I get first rank in the class? If you can help me get first rank, then I will sit. Then I said, okay, sit down and you will get first rank. Don't worry, you sit down, I said. He said, what is the proof? I told him, if you sit down and you chant Hare Krishna, your mind will become cleansed, your bad habits will go away, you will get more time, and with that time you'll study well, then you will get first rank. So of course, at least for that day, he sat at least. So the point is, people want immediately experience. That is new age religion. So from Shastras to science to experience. Experience means asura. Asu means immediate. Ra means Raman. Asura means one wants immediate pleasure. Instant gulab jamun, instant idli, instant pleasure. They want instantly. So that's what he is saying. And because of this, who are the gurus who will be very popular now? Who will have millions of followers? People who can give people an experience. Ha 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 ha, you just laugh. Yeah, just enjoy. Like in Hindi, they say, Aaj ke aanand ke jai. They only think about Aaj only. They don't think about Kal. There are so many people who speak very light things, who never touch the truth at all. They never tell you are not the body, you are the soul. They never tell. One very, very famous guru, all over the world, internationally well known. So in one very big college, like IIT, IIM, that kind of college, students were asking him a question. Sir, we have heard many of your lectures. We feel very light at heart. It's very cool hearing them. But we want to know one thing. After speaking all these things, can you tell us in conclusion one thing that we should do, by doing which our life would become perfect? And he couldn't say. He just told them, whatever you are doing, you just do it. You are a student, so you study, that's all. If you are a working man, you work. And then eventually, you will figure out the truth yourself, like that he is saying. I felt so sorry. If I was there, I would have told the boy, chant Hare Krishna, and follow the 4 regulative principles. Study Prabhupada books. Live in the company of devotees. Worship the deities. Water Tulasi. Circumambulate Krishna's deity. And lead a pure life. I would have immediately told him. I wish I was there, I was thinking. Because Prabhupada has given us concrete procedure what we should do to advance in spiritual life. This Swamiji is such a big man, internationally acclaimed fellow. He couldn't give him any conclusion what you should be doing. This is one thing very special in Prabhupada books, very concrete instructions on what I should do. Parikshit is asking Shukadeva Goswami, Ada prichami samsiddhim yoginam paramam gurum purushasyeha yat karyam mriyamanasya sarvada. What is the duty of a man in general and what is the duty of a dying man? Both he asked. And then he asked, Yat shrotavyam, yat kirtitavyam. He's asking, what should be heard? What should be glorified? What should be remembered? Like that he said. And then he's saying, what should not be heard? What should not be glorified? What should not be remembered? He asked. These are the questions he asked. So Shukadeva Goswami, when he responded to these questions, first he told him what not to hear. Shrotavyadini Rajendra Ninam Santi Sahasrashaha Apashyatam Atmadatpam Griheshu Grihamedhinam. He said, Parikshit, there are 2 types of people in this world, Grihamedi and Grihastha. For a Grihamedi, sense gratification is the center. For a Grihastha, Krishna consciousness is the center. And then he told him that the Grihamedis have thousands of subject matters to talk about: sports, cinema, and politics, all kinds of things, money making and all these things, economics and everything. And Grihasthas, for them subject matter is hearing and chanting about the Lord. So you will find the first two verses he is saying what you should not do. Why is he saying that? Because generally conditioned souls do those things. Therefore, very first in the beginning only he's saying, don't do this. And then he's coming to what should be done. Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari, he says after that. So, he says here that in the modern times, people are being cheated by gurus. Therefore, people are talking about spirituality without God now. And what is spirituality without God? That means how to feel good. That's all. You eat, live in eco-friendly environment, eat very nice vegetarian foods, and do some yoga and pranayam for healthy body, and so that you can healthily do eating, sleeping, mating, defending. This is called spirituality without God. I said don't even use the word spirituality. When the word spiritual, when you say, immediately God comes into picture. Without God, there is no spirituality. It's only atheism. So that's what he's saying here. The faithless people are increasing now, and even those with so-called faith, they are also cheated by, new age gurus who are giving them. They are telling them, they will never tell them don't eat meat, don't drink wine. They know that they will lose their audience if they say that. They will never tell people chant Hare Krishna. Krishna will not come out of their mouths by mistake also. They will take care that even if they tell about Krishna, it will be for their own purpose only. Yeah. So two types of faithless souls can contact Krishna consciousness. Those who know nothing about Krishna, those who know relatively little. The latter are better situated, of course, because knowledge is the precursor to faith. Still, for the sake of brevity, this section will apply the principles for reaching out to the faithless to both categories. Okay. Like you see, Dhruva Maharaj, did he know anything about Vishnu before? His mother told him that you should approach Lord Vishnu because your father, Uttanapad, and his father Swayambhu Manu, and his father Brahma, they all got their kingdoms from Lord Vishnu only. He's the one who blesses everybody with everything. Without he's the father of all living beings. So if you go to him, there is nothing you cannot obtain. Like that she told him. So therefore he wanted to find out who is Vishnu. So Prabhupada says in one lecture I heard in his one of the audios, he went to the lion and asked, are you Vishnu? He asked him. Lion said, no. Then he asked a tiger, are you Vishnu? Prabhupada says in one of the lectures. Sometimes you get these finer details about the pastime of Dhruva. So he was not aware. He was inquiring everybody. Are you Vishnu? Are you Vishnu? My mother had told him that you should approach saintly people in the forest. And they will guide you to Vishnu. And then he approached Narada Muni. So although he was not knowing anything about the Lord, he faithfully heard Narada and applied. Prabhupada says doubting is the function of intelligence. But after hearing from a bona fide source, if one still continues doubting, is a rascal, Prabhupada says. So here you find Dhruva, he heard from a bona fide source and he had no more doubts. He became free from doubts after that. All the Yasmin Vijnarte Sarvam Evam Vijnatum Bhavati, it is said. By knowing Krishna, you know everything. There are no more doubts left. Yeah. Read this. What is success of preaching?
The faithless are just as individual as the faithful, so the way to elevate each of them is unique. Preachers must therefore carefully balance purity with utility. Preaching must adhere to the principles of devotion, yet be tailored to suit individual needs. Success in preaching can be measured by how effectively the faithless come to pure faith and the faithful to advanced Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. Now some preachers may say, I only speak purely, I don't compromise. I just present as acharyas are presented. But if our preaching doesn't make people into devotees, what is the use of that purity with which you are trying to reach out to people? We had one seminar in JBC College in those days. One very great researcher has analyzed 10 points about if a religion is too much strict in keeping purity, then gradually the numbers will reduce. They will not have many people to follow. And if a religion is extremely liberal, initially they will get a big following and eventually they will also become very thin in number, he says. Because the people who come to a movement for its liberalness, they will come there. but they will not experience the higher taste which they came looking for, because of being extremely liberal. So that will also eventually become, no, he says that will eventually lose its soul, he's saying. That means there will be nothing, that movement itself will not exist because of being too liberal, he says. And then he says that religion which strikes a balance between the two, they should be strict with principles and liberal in details. And that religion is the one which can flourish the most. Either he says there are many, many points. It's a one full seminar for 2-3 hours seminar. It is. It's really worth going through. For those who are preachers, you want to know more about, how much strict we should be and how much liberal we should be. For example, in our ashram also, in our temple, people externally talk, we are strict temple, but if you see in prasadam, we are not very strict. We have so much liberal. You have health prasad, health sabji, health dal and everything. We have 3-time prasad, 2-time prasad. According to your needs, it's provided. Some devotees want to keep in a hot pot and take, they are provided hot pot also, correct? No? In prasad, we are liberal in that. Similarly, in preaching also we are liberal. Anybody want to go to any part of the city and preach, you don't need any big permission from the authorities for preaching, correct? No? You want to sit for services, the individual devotees are given freedom to choose their service of your choice. Somebody want to serve in the kitchen cooking, he can cook. Somebody wants to preach, he can preach. According to your individual taste, services are awarded accordingly like that. Similarly, Vaishnava Samvardhan, very liberal. I remember in those days, one devotee, we took a soap for one camp, he lost it. He came after 2 days. So he wanted the soap again. So Vaishnava Samvardhan department told him that you took a soap only 2 days ago. Now you can't ask immediately. You come after 2 weeks. So he was asking what to do for 2 weeks. I have to use sand. So therefore, later on, I told the Vaishnava Samvardhan department should be very liberal, because these are like children living in the ashram. Ashram is like their home for them. We have to be liberal. So we are very liberal in Vaishnava Samvardhan also. In fact, they made timing. In this time to this time, you have to put the chit and all that. Now nothing works actually. Anybody goes to him anytime, correct? No? And he made a very liberal devotee. Our Manmohan Shyam Prabhu. So any time of the day, people catch him and they get. So you can see that things where you can live like a home, even in the ashram. There is birthday festival where all the devotees are sitting together, they are garlanded and they are glorified. So these things are very liberal. And what are we strict about? Morning program very strict, because that is medicine. If you don't take medicine, you will die. If a person has cancer, he has to take medicine and remove the cancer. So that we cannot compromise on. Somebody says, I will not complete 16 rounds. No, we will not leave you. We make sure you complete your 16. Isn't it? Chant your rounds, attend the class and all these things. So we should be strict about those core principles, what we should be strict about. And we should be liberal on things, on details we could be liberal in that. So therefore, if you do this well, we should be increasing number in big proportion actually. And Prabhupada did that, if you see. Like when Prabhupada went to America also, when Mr. Goldsmith told Prabhupada, Swamiji, these 4 principles you are saying, the last one will not work in America, no illicit sex. Maybe you can make it 3, like that he said. Prabhupada said, I have not come here to please the Americans. I have to speak what the Shastras say. Shastras say, Dyutam Panam Striya Suna Yatra Adharmas Chaturvida. These 4 are adharma. So I have to speak the truth. And he spoke the truth and he still got many devotees. He got 10,000 people with him and 5,000 of them got initiated. Another 5,000 are aspiring from him. You can imagine. Even in a country like the West, where sense gratification is profusely available, he could preach purely and establish Krishna consciousness. So he was liberal in prasadam. He was very understandable to the people of the West, and accordingly he administered the medicine. But the point is, success in preaching can be measured by how effectively the faithless come to pure faith and the faithful to advanced Krishna consciousness. Like today morning only I heard one lecture. One disciple, Prabhupada is having a conversation with his devotees. Prabhupada is saying, Yoga Kshema Mahamyaham. You see, you all became devotees and now you see Krishna is providing you prasad, providing you clothes, you are living in the ashram, you are not going to factory, you are not traveling 2 hours, going long distance work in a factory morning to evening. You are sitting in the temple and you are getting prasad and you're preaching. So one devotee was intelligent fellow. He asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, will not people say that, just like animals are also after food and living place. Similarly, we are also just eating food and after living place. So people will say that means you guys are joining ISKCON only for food and living place. Will they not say like that? Like that one devotee is asking. Prabhupada is saying, but animals are not doing service. You are doing service. Prabhupada is saying, like you are doing service. That means Prabhupada says, why are you doing service? Because you love Krishna. Hmm? If you don't love Krishna, you will do service in a company and earn salary. You will not come here. Huh? You will make money and fill up your belly. You will not want to serve Krishna. But if somebody wants to serve Krishna, like we went to Pandharpur for 3-day camp. And the third day I found Amarendra Prabhu was on the altar there worshipping. Now who told him to worship? Nobody told him. Therefore, bhakti means voluntary devotional service. Voluntarily someone goes forward and says, can I do the worship of the deity, please? Of course, they gave him the opportunity. He even rendered service. So you can see that we are not here just for eating food and sleeping, because even eating food and sleeping also life would be boring if that is the only thing you do. Because we are living entities, have a desire to take some initiative and do some things. And you can see that Prabhupada made this moment where we are doing something very useful for the people, which is liberating the people, which is giving them chance to attain the ultimate goal of life. So Prabhupada could convincingly present the philosophy and turn the faithless people into faithful people. I read it. Confidential portions not for non-devotees.
For ISKCON preachers, Bhagavad Gita as it is the basic textbook. Srila Prabhupada calls it the ABCs of Dharma. Yet in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna prohibits teaching its more confidential portions to non-devotees.
Correct? This is a verse. Actually, this is just one. Idam te na tapaskaya na bhaktaya kadachana na cha shushrushave vachyam na jamam yobhyasuyati.
This confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor to one who is envious of me.
Yeah, you see, this is a very carefully to be understood statement. One time, I was sitting in a train in the berth, reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Below there was a family. The family man was wearing shorts. And he was a grown-up man. He must be 35, 40, I think, wearing shorts, along with his 3-4 children and wife. And they ate everything that came in the train. Mungfali comes, they were eating. Thumbs up came, they drank. Bhel came, they ate the bhel also. Groundnuts came. Everything, they were eating, drinking, everything, all day. And in the night, that fellow was telling his wife, today all day we were traveling, we couldn't cook at home and eat. He was telling. I thought, what did you not eat? Everything he ate. So when you look at such a person, it looks like a thorough sense gratifier materialist. So night, 8 o'clock, the station came, so I got down. But as soon as I got down, the man looked at me and immediately folded his palms and said, Jai Shri Krishna, he was telling. I was Jai Shri Krishna. Then he told all the children, hey, some palm pakado, and all of you fall at his feet, sadhu's feet. And all the children were falling at their feet, offering obeisances, made them told to chant Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna. Then I sat, then he said, Swamiji, I never noticed that you are sitting in the top. It will be nice if you can tell us some, please give us some good advice. We people are always in the material world. We are running here, running there, making money. I have my business. Now station will come in half an hour. Please tell me some good things which I can easily apply in my life. Like that he asked. I was so stunned. I was looking at him. 3-4 minutes I couldn't speak. He said, why are you so stunned? He was surprised. Why am I so surprised about? Actually, what was going on in my mind? Internally, I was praying to him, please forgive me. I was afraid to tell him externally. I want to tell him that I misunderstood you. You appeared like a materialist for me. Now I understand you are a Krishna devotee. So we should not think this is the way materialist looks like. Actually, there are many people in city also. They look like materialist, but they have Shraddha in their hearts. How many of you observed? Correct, no? Yeah. On the other hand, there are even in people living in village who are drunkards, who have no faith in God. Our devotees go to preach in villages sometimes. They find morning, evening, both times these fellows drink. And they have not even an iota of faith in God. They will not listen also. In fact, once when I was going in the train, there was one farmer. I showed him Bhagavad Gita. He is asking, "Arey, computer ka zamana aa gaya, Bhagavad Gita bech raha hai," he's saying. Huh? He's saying like that. He's saying Bhagavad Gita, computer zamana. See, he has never touched a computer. Huh? But he's so, so proud of, infatuated about the invention of computer. See, I told that fellow, even scientists don't have faith in science as much as you have faith in them. I told that fellow. You know, even scientists are doubtful about their advancement. But this fellow is more confident than them. Shows how much blind faith he has. Correct, no? So therefore, it is very important to detect who has faith and who doesn't have faith. Don't go by the externals. Even Gadadhar Pandit saw our Pundrik Vijjanidhi. It appeared like he was a materialist. Correct, no? We should be very careful not to misjudge anybody. Don't go by the externals. So there are many people who appreciate us, even though they look like materialists. So anybody who is appreciating devotees, like we are going on Harinam, some people they wave the hand. So we should know that they have some Shraddha. Otherwise, why are they waving the hand and appreciating? Like, when we were going for Harinam in Hyderabad, one auto wala was coming like this. So he was passing like this. We were doing Harinam and he's beating on this thing in the glass. He's beating according to our tune. He's enjoying the kirtan. When he came near, he said, he was waving and smiling. He said, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So we can know that they have some faith, surely. So therefore, when you are talking about don't give it to faithless people, means who is faithless? Faithless people are those who ridicule the message of God, who ridicule the devotees, who talk ill of God, who talk ill of devotees, who blaspheme anything about devotion service. So those kinds of people, if you continue speaking to them glories of Krishna, that is like Payam Panam Bhujanganam Kevalam Vishavardhanam. Don't feed bananas and milk to a serpent, it is said. Then it becomes ninth offense. That we should avoid. Yeah.
Were unqualified people to receive such knowledge, they would become envious of Krishna. Envy results in offenses, and offenses obstruct the awakening of faith.
This is the point. That means, for example, if a person is, faithless and envious, and if you speak to him, he will commit more offenses. And by making more offenses, he will suffer himself by becoming more faithless. That means he can't awaken his faith. He becomes hard-hearted. And the people around him also lose their faith. And they also become hard-hearted. That means you are arresting his awakening of faith in Krishna by glorifying Krishna. You understand, no? See, it is exactly like a newborn child. If you take a big paratha and put it in his mouth, he's a newborn baby. Somebody may say, hey, you're killing the child. They may say. But you may say, no. I am giving some eatable for the child. So who is right? First one or second one? Second one. No, if he's feeding a paratha into a newborn baby, paratha, he can eat? Actually, he's killing the child in that sense. Actually, if you are feeding paratha to any of you, it is very good. Grown-up person. So, grown-up person means in Krishna consciousness, a faithful person. A faithful person can hear advanced things. A faithless person cannot hear. If you are feeding a very advanced thing to a faithless person, you are committing which offense? Ninth offense. Yeah, that's what he is saying. Go ahead.
Therefore, the first step in preaching is to establish openness to and appreciation of Krishna consciousness.
Exactly. So when you meet a newcomer, first thing you can do, give him some prasad. Very soft, very first class prasad. I always used to tell the brahmacharis, whenever guests come, I would bring some soft prasad. Don't bring a hard one. Like sometimes some prasad is so hard you have to bite, your tooth will break. Don't bring like that. Bring something very soft. So after they eat, next question you should ask them, how is the prasad? What they will say? Wonderful. That means you've given them a chance to appreciate Krishna in the form of prasad. So if they're appreciating, then you can tell more about Krishna. Just as prasadam is very sweet, Krishna is even more sweet. Huh? You can tell them. Yeah. Go ahead.
These attitudes make of the heart a fertile field in which the seed of devotion can take root.
Yeah. See, Prabhupada is surrounded by hippies. See, they are all sitting and listening to him. Who is sitting next to Prabhupada? You know that? Mukunda Maharaj. Huh? You see? All are sitting because they became friendly with Prabhupada. Huh? See, Prabhupada, therefore Prabhupada didn't preach to them in the beginning. He did Kirtan. And after the Kirtan, Prasadam. That's all. Huh? And then when they did Kirtan, ate Prasad, they became friendly with Prabhupada. Then they sat down to listen. Then he preached to them.
Lord Chaitanya introduced public Harinam Sankirtan to prepare faithless people for devotional service as much as to inspire the faithful to continue chanting.
Yeah. So, those who are faithless people, to awaken faith in them, he chanted the holy name, Sankirtan in the streets. So that gradually the faith will awaken. And after the faith has awakened, then they will join chanting. When the Sukriti has become more ripe, they will join you in chanting, or they will wave the hand, they will take a book and things like that. And then they will become devotees gradually. Yeah.
Hearing the Lord's holy name purifies the ignorant. If they
For
repeat,
example, Mrigari, he met Nardamani. At that time, he had no faith. When he met Nardamani, and you will find that Nardamani gave him the holy name. After chanting the holy name, how he became. Similarly, you can see Valmiki and other people also. So when the holy name enters their heart and purifies, then their faith is awakened. And when faith is awakened, they can perform. They get the adhikar to perform devotion service more and more. Yeah.
if they repeat the name even unintentionally, cynically, neglectfully, or in jest, the seed of faith will still sprout.
Sankyatyam parihasyam va stovam helaname bhava Vaikuntha nama grahanam ashesha haram vidum. Another verse. Yathagadam viryatamam upayuktam yadrichaya ajanatopyatmagunam kurvan mantra udahritah. Gurunam cha lagunam cha guruni cha laguni cha prayaschittani papanam yatpoktani maharshibhihi. 3 verses I told you now. I'll tell you the meaning of the last one. Gurunam cha lagunam cha means Guru means big sin. Lagu means small sin. So big sins and small sins both are eradicated by the chanting of the holy name. He said you don't have to do separate prayaschitta for that. And then he says, like you go to a doctor who gives you some yellow pill, blue pill, green pill, you don't know what is inside it. You don't even know the name also. Sometimes names are very complicated names, correct, no? But some people know names, some people don't know. But you have faith in him, correct, no? So then you eat the medicine for 2 days, 3 days, and viral fever goes away, correct, no? So in the same manner, the holy name can be taken even without knowing the meaning of it, even without knowing the glory of it. Because somebody told you to do it, you do it. You get the benefit, he says. Yathagadam viryatamam, he says. And then the another verse says that 4 types of people who chant even unintentionally, Sankirtam. Sometimes you see the marketplace, they want to sell something to you. You are walking on the road, or auto wala also sometimes. Hey, Hare Krishna! Like that he calls, come here. Auto chahiye kya? Like that he asks, no? So he knows if you say Hare Krishna, you will pay attention. Correct? No? Therefore he uses the word. Correct? He knows these are Hare Krishna people wearing tilak. If you say Hare Krishna, they will pay attention to me. So his calling Hare Krishna, is it done with devotion? It just unintentionally is calling. Correct? No? And somebody may call cynically. Cynically means some people say, what is this? You people Hare Krishna, all the time you are dancing. They do like that. You have seen, no? People do like that. They tease you. That's what he is saying. Somebody cynically may speak about you like that. Or sometimes people neglectfully chant. Like some of our devotees, like there is one video our Mahatma Hari Prabhu can show you. There is one devotee playing Mridangam and going, say Gauranga, he says. Gauranga, he says. Gauranga, 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 he'll beat like that. Then he'll go to the next one. You've seen that? So this fellow goes to person and makes him chant Gauranga like that. So some people may neglectfully chant, okay, take it, Gauranga. Go ahead. But that one Gauranga makes them begin devotion service. You see? That's why he's saying neglectfully. Or in jest. Or somebody may even joke. But all these things, if done, even in this manner, still the seed of faith will sprout, he's saying. You can imagine how powerful the holy name is. Even by Krishna is so merciful when he comes as the holy name. Read the next one.
The public's favorable response to the Harinam party is often this kind of faithless, yet offenseless chanting exemplified by the innocent expression, "Here come the Hare Krishnas."
Correct. So sometimes the public people, they clap hands and appreciate. Like, one old man was walking with his wife, that is a senior citizen, must be 70 years, I think. Uh, and this fellow is very talkative, but, even though he's very old, he will not keep quiet. He talks a lot to his wife. So his wife was telling him, "Shh, chup raho, dekho." She was showing the Harinam Sankirtan was coming. So we were coming like this. So this man was having a stick in the hand. So when he saw us, he was doing like this. Very good. Hare Krishna, he was doing like this. So when we came near, he was telling that, you guys are not just keeping it with yourself, you are giving it to others. That's what I appreciate, he was telling. So many people actually may not become a serious devotee in our movement, but they do appreciate what we are doing. And in this way, the Harinam Sankirtan gives them a chance for beginning the devotion service. That's what he is saying.
Accidental offenseless chanting of non-devotees. That sinful people can chant without offense, a grade of chanting neophyte sadhakas aspire for, often amazes practicing devotees. Yet, Srimad Bhagavatam confirms the special benefit of accidental chanting.
Yeah, correct. Actually, how this kind of college boys can take part in Sankirtan with so much enthusiasm, it amazes even the neophyte devotees also. Even the neophyte devotees actually the practicing devotees think that we want to actually chant offenselessly, but there are many new people who offenselessly worship the deity also. You will see that. Actually, they respect deities more than us also. How many of you observed that? Actually, they treat, when they come to temple, they see the Lord is standing here, he is giving Ashirwad, this Arati time, we should not move. Just like the national anthem, people stand, you have seen that? When the national anthem is sung, wherever you are, what you should do? You stand erect, you don't move. You respect the national flag. In the same manner, when people come to temple, when Arati is there, sometimes you may be sitting very casually. But you see, when the newcomers come, they stand in front of the Lord, erect without budging an inch until the whole Arati is over. Similarly, when we get ghee lamp every day, so we get used to it. Ati Parichaya? But when ghee lamp comes, you have seen when they are taking it to Prabhupada, many new people run behind the person. They run after Prabhupada. After that only they will get. You have seen, no? They wonder why this fellow is not giving. Correct? So much Shraddha is there. So this amazes the practicing devotees. We don't have this type of faith. New people have. Actually, the devotional process is like that. That innocent faith in the beginning eventually gets lost because of offenses over a period of time. In many places I travel, many practicing devotees ask me, Prabhuji, speak on this topic, how to regain the innocence which we had originally when we came in the early days to Krishna consciousness. Now that innocent faith, the tender feelings, that bhava, we are not able to feel, that has become covered over by so much, stereotyped practice and lack of taste and appearing like a routine. Why it's like that? That's because of offenses. So again, we have to try to come to offenseless chanting. And offenseless chanting actually can be increased when you go out on Harinam Sankirtan, when you distribute Prabhupada's books, when you confront the public. By giving Krishna to others, then Krishna becomes sympathetic to you. See this devotee, how they are dancing in the top, you see. See this boy, this devotee who is dancing with this boy is a very famous dancer. What is his name? Yeah? Harinamanand Prabhu, which is a temple he lives in?
He manages a Harinam Ruchi team, so he travels around the world doing that.
Yeah, correct. So our Devavar Prabhu is from LA. Devavar is about 90% of his time is traveling on road, going to universities and distributing books. So he knows these devotees, in the West. So now I'll continue this in the next class. When we... So how the faithless come to faith, the steps are very beautifully explained in this book. How they gradually come to faith. Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki. Thank you very much.